The 2019 NASCAR Xfinity Series season will be remembered for many things. Tyler Reddick's dominance, Michael Annette's first win, the Big Three, Noah Gragson's rookie season, the rise of Austin Cindric, Brandon Jones' first win, Ross Chastain's one-off appearance in the Xfinity Series, Tyler Reddick's choke, and much more. But without the playoffs, the season would play out differently, and today, it's time to find out how. Let's break down the 2019 Xfinity Series season. In the first 6 races, we would get 3 full-time winners. Michael Annett would score his first career win at the season opener at Daytona, with Christopher Bell winning next week at Atlanta, and Cole Custer would win race 5 at Auto Club. So after the first 6 races, Tyler Reddick would be leading the standings with finishes of 9th, 5th, 14th, 3rd, 4th, and 2nd to open the season, and the top 10 drivers would be within 1 race of each other. Tyler Reddick would continue his consistency with a 2nd place at Bristol and then a 4th at Richmond. He would win the race at Talladega and then follow that up with a 3rd at Dover and then another one at Charlotte. And to round off the first 12 races of the season, he would choke at Pocono and end up finishing 2nd. So after 12 races, Tyler Reddick would be over an entire race above his nearest competitor, Austin Cindric. At Michigan, Reddick would further extend his lead with a win, and he was now 68 points ahead of new 2nd place, Chase Briscoe. Reddick would have a mediocre day at Iowa, finishing 15th, and was now 53 points ahead of new 2nd place, Christopher Bell. At Chicagoland, Reddick would finish 9th and was now 61 points ahead of new 2nd place, Austin Cindric. Christopher Bell would get disqualified and was now 82 points behind Reddick. At Daytona, Reddick would get caught up in a late race crash, but would actually end up recovering to a decent 16th place finish, while Cindric would finish 4th and was now 50 points behind. At Kentucky, Reddick would solidly finish 3rd, while Cindric finished 14th and was now 60 points behind. At New Hampshire, Reddick would finish in 4th, and at the halfway point of the season, it seemed like no one could break Tyler Reddick's consistency, and he would be emerging as the championship favorite. At Iowa, Reddick would finish 5th while Bell would finish 2nd and was now 55 points behind. At Watkins Glen, Reddick would finish 5th and Bell would finish 2nd, closing the gap to 51 points. At Mid-Ohio, Bell would finish 2nd, Reddick would come home 4th, slightly closing the gap to 48 points. Now it seemed up to this point that Christopher Bell was making decent progress, but at Bristol, all that progress would be lost.
Heavy traffic for the top 5 car. Oh! The double arrow into the fence.
Cole Custer. He catches the 20 of Christopher Bell. They spin. The caution comes out. Big contact now behind him.
I think that's the 81. Eric Jones, heavy. Joey Logano.
Hard.
Cole Custer slammed off the wall, came back down, caught the 20 of Christopher Bell. And then the chaos ensued.
And this would not be helped by Tyler Reddick winning the race and extending the gap to 65 points. At Road America, Bell would bounce back and win the race while Reddick would finish 3rd. It was now 59 points ahead of Bell. At Darlington, Reddick would finish 2nd while Bell would finish 4th, and with 9 races to go, something catastrophic would need to happen to Reddick in order for anyone else to win the title. At Indianapolis, both contenders would wreck out of the race in the same crash, and Bell would be classified 1 place higher, and the gap was now 62 points. At Las Vegas, in a dramatic fuel mileage finish, Reddick would bounce back with a win, while Bell finished 2nd, the gap was now 65 points. At Richmond, Bell would answer with a dominant win, while Reddick would finish 10th, and this would cut the gap down to 51 points. At the Roval, Reddick would finish 2nd, while Bell would finish 12th, growing the gap to 61 points. But at Dover, Christopher Bell's championship hopes would be dashed with a fuel pressure issue, and he would finish 25th while Reddick would finish 12th. It was now 74 points ahead. But at Kansas, Christopher Bell's title hopes would get even slimmer.
Once again, diving to the low side of the racetrack, trying to take away that top spot.
Junior, I think that now.
Oh, contact! They both hit! Bell slams into the Briscoe, and now Bell across the grass. The 98 was sliding.
How much damage? Look at all the damage on that 20.
The right front destroyed on the 20 of Bell. The caution has come out again with 16 laps to go.
Because of this, he would finish 12th while Reddick would finish 2nd, increasing the gap to 83 points. At Texas, Tyler Reddick would have a chance to lock up the title 2 weeks early. He just needed to gain 8 points on Christopher Bell, but he would not end up pulling this off, and his consistency would come to an end. With that crash, he would finish 29th while Bell would win the race and significantly shrink the gap to 51 points. So going into the penultimate race of the season in Phoenix, Reddick had the chance to lock up the title 1 week early if he finished second. With Bell in a must-win situation to even have a shot at Homestead, it looked likely that he was going to win this race, but on lap 116, that would all come to an end.
And Bell goes around. Bell trying to find his way from the back to the front after the pit road speeding penalty.
Spun, no contact.
You heard it there, spun, no contact.
That's how quickly things change in the sport. Christopher Bell out there dominating this race. Pit road penalty, has to go to the back, charging to the front, trying to rumble on that apron, and it just came around on him.
Bell would go on to finish in 16th, and Tyler Reddick would finish the race in 3rd, and he would lock up his one and only Xfinity Series championship. The race at Homestead would go on, and Tyler Reddick would put the exclamation point on an almost perfect season and win the race and take home the 2019 NASCAR Xfinity Series championship. So with no playoffs, Tyler Reddick would absolutely obliterate the field and win the title a week early. The Big Three in this season wouldn't have even been a thing because Tyler Reddick was just that dominant, and the only one that could even get close to him was Christopher Bell. And this would also be RCR's second straight championship with 2 different drivers. Well, that'll do it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week for 2020.